Hello everyone, welcome! Today we're going to do a guide for Druid 3rd level spells. So you have reached the 5th level as a Druid and now you get access to 3rd level spells. So we're going to go through all Druid spells and I'm going to show you guys in action. But you know what? Druids, they do not have that many 3rd level spells, only 6 spells. And let's see which ones of these 6 spells are really useful. Let's see, let's go. I think the most iconic Druid spell is the Call Lightning, and it is as good as iconic. It's really good. So basically you use this spell, you're going to cast on an area. It's your action to cast. There's a very good range and lots of damage, 3d10 lightning damage. Dexterity saving throws, so they will take half damage. So let's start on these goblins here. It's pretty amazing. Come on, the effect is like really great. There's another goblin there, and let's pass the turn. Goblin surprise. Now the nice thing about this spell is that it's a concentration spell. It lasts up to 1 minute, or if you lose your concentration, of course. But every round you can use your extra again to hurl lightnings again. So the same 3d10 lightning damage that you just dealt on an area, you can do it again. And again, and again, and again. And you can do that for 10 freaking rounds. So assuming you do not lose your concentration, that's one of the best spells in the game. Pretty awesome. And the area here, I'm going to say the area here is pretty, let's say, it's a very nice area. It seems to be more than in D&D, or maybe not. Maybe that's just how it is. But pretty amazing. Now for our next Druid spell, there is a spell Daylight, and clerics also have this spell. One nice thing in Baldur's Gate that's better than in D&D is that Daylight here actually says it summons a sphere of sunlight. And that's not the same on D&D, although it is daylight, it's not sunlight. It's kind of silly, right? But well, being sunlight is much better because these will mess with vampires, with shadows, and especially vampires and other kind of creatures that have disadvantage or they're affected by sunlight in any way. So you have 2 modes for this spell. The first mode is you just cast a sphere and it will illuminate. That's a pretty good illumination. Actually, this one is actually too bright for my eyes. Don't know about you guys, so bright that makes it foggy, but that's okay. And now for the second mode, we have the one you can cast on a creature. So just to choose your creature to cast. Usually will be on the creature's weapon. Let's get away from this. One nice thing, it is not a concentration spell, so you can just cast your Daylight and okay with that. I don't recommend using it only for the purpose of illuminating. There are several spells to illuminate stuff to light the ambience, but I do recommend if there's darkness, magical darkness, these would dispel magical darkness, and also fighting creatures like I don't know, vampires and other creatures that will have problems on sunlight. Next spell is Feign Death. Let me fight these goblins here. Okay. So I got myself into a fight. Let me get the Bard into a fight. Wait.
Best be on my way.
What? We don't want to do stealth. Alright. The Bard is in a fight. So they're going to especially hit people next to them. So they're like attacking my Bard, doing stuff against the Bard. They might go against the Druid also, but usually you want to deal with whatever is closer to you, more dangerous to you in the moment, right? There's summoning something to hit my Druid, which is fine. Now these guys are kind of fighting my Bard, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Feign Death. Okay, we're going to take an attack of opportunity here. Feign Death is a melee spell, so you need to be in melee range for the creature, okay? And then when you cast, it says here, you put in a line in a protected magical coma deep enough to imitate death. So they are resistant to all damage except psychic damage, and they're immune to disease and poison. So that's cool. Okay. We didn't have enough movement to get there. So I will cast on myself. Okay, I'm like, now I'm on the ground. I'm going to run away from the warg from my bard, so the warg is not going to be able to catch my bard. So if he wants to attack something, it will need to attack the druid that is on the coma on Feign Death now. Let's see. Goblins are doing their thing, you know. That's goblins, you can't really control them. Now the warg is ignoring my druid. So one of the things that this spell doesn't say that make like the enemies ignore the target of the Feign Death, but it does. As soon as you Feign Death on a ally, people will ignore it, and the ally will be in the coma, like they will be sleeping for several minutes. So there's actually several turns. I mean, how good is that? I don't think that's good. To be very direct here, I don't think it's worth to spend one of your spells to take one of your allies out of combat. But well, maybe you can find some use for it. Maybe that spell, maybe there is a nice opportunity to cheese some encounters. I don't know. Let's see. Tell me in the comments if I have some use for that. Right, next spell on the list is Plant Growth. That's a pretty good spell. It's not concentration. It will last for 10 turns. And creatures inside the area have the movement quartered. So yeah, that's a lot. So to give an example, we have here my bard and my tiefling. They are both like okay, so two wood elves here, the bard and the ranger. They have the same movement because neither of them has anything that would increase their movement. I'm going to leave them side by side here.
Never a dull moment.
Kind of side by side. And now I'm going to cast the Plant Growth spell affecting only one of them. So I think they should be right. Now I will hit turn-based mode. Okay. So let's have first my bard move. Okay, so the plant's a little bit here, but that's alright. We can here. Let have him move. So he left from here to there. Now if we get the ranger, come on ranger, move. That's it. So that was her whole movement. Yeah, it's a quartered. You can hear this thing, a quartered movement, and like okay. But when you see that in action, that's great. It's a pretty good area. You can really lock creatures that need to fight on melee. So in the right scenario, on the right fights, this spell can be incredible. No concentration, no saving throws. You just cast it, and these great roses, they come and, you know, they do their job. Pretty nice. I have never noted the roses, actually. Okay, now for next druid spell, we have Protection from Energy. Basically, it's a concentration spell. When you cast it, you choose one energy. I'm going to choose fire here. So that means whoever I cast it on, and will be on myself. Now my druid is resistant to fire. It is a concentration spell, but lasts up to 24 hours. So if I don't fail the concentration, I will keep it. Now, resistance to fire gives us half damage from fire. And to demonstrate that, my warlock, there's a tiefling. Tieflings also have resistance to fire, so she also takes half damage from fire. She's going to cast a fireball on top of us. That's 8d6 damage. Let's see the damage on my guys. We could see here not lots of damage coming, but we can see that Sitting Duck, that was my druid, she failed the saving throw, and she took 14 damage. Now Rooster succeeded on saving throw and took 12 damage, so should have taken twice his damage. But Rooster was good and succeeded on it. Now Haka here succeeded on saving throw and took 8 fire damage. Now Raka is my ranger, which didn't have resistance. Now one thing that is nice that I just learned now is that Fireball actually rolls damage for each target. I didn't know that. That's incredible to know. As you can see, it had different damage for everyone. 23 here, 28, 25, so another thing to learn. But yeah, resistance is pretty straightforward. You take half damage. And my druid didn't lose the concentration, so she get to keep her protection from energy fire. Alright, next is Sleet Storm. So this is a little bit of a strange spell. It's a huge area. What does it do? It's a concentration spell, so up to 10 turns. When you cast it, the sleet will come and will douse fire, so any fire will be extinguished, right? And will create an ice surface so people can sleep. Even if they're not moving, they can fall. And also disrupts concentration. What does that mean is actually if there are some caster concentration. Let me get my bar here. And here we'll concentrate on Cloud of Daggers. Just cast it here. Now move my druid away because I don't want it to hit itself with the storm. So let's cast this Sleet Storm here. A huge ass area. Now, every turn they make concentration, they make saving throws against the storm. And if they fail, they will lose concentration. Also, they make saving throws to not sleep on the ice. If they fail, they fall on the ice. So it is, what can I say? It's actually a good spell. It can lock someone down. Because if you keep like getting prone, you can't do much. So it's alright. I think it can be a very effective spell if you're really fighting a huge number of enemies, especially with tons of casters between them. But thank you very much for watching. Please leave a comment if you have something to add. Maybe something I didn't realize. And see ya.